Yoga has a lot of branches and a lot of tools, but in the core of every yogic branch is the realization of transcendental reality. To understand that there is something which is higher, bigger, that there is some unified consciousness or energy, and that there is something like a soul hidden inside of us, some essence which is interconnected with anyone else and with the whole world and whole universe. As there are many different branches, because people are different, and some tend to be more intellectual and like to learn through scriptures and memorizing and understanding the structures through the rational mind, and some are more oriented to religion, and some are maybe for a specific action in the life to help others to work in that service aspect of the whole humanity. So there are different paths that we can choose, even through yoga. But there are some basics that connect all these together. And the most important is moksha. It has different names like kaivalya and samadhi, but it means a liberation, the inner freedom that we are not our body, our mind, and we are something bigger, higher, or deeper. And in the center of that is also a moral life, or a life of values and a purpose that you can't skip. You can't do yoga without having good values. And it doesn't mean that you need to follow the values and moral of society, like ethical codex that's created through the civilization and context of that civilization that you live in, but it means your inner core values. And also psychologically, if you don't live according to your inner values, you are creating that problem in your psyche that will one day bite you. And always we teach that in a context of practice and theory, because it's not so efficient if you just do the practice and you don't understand it, you don't know what you are doing, where you are heading, and you are just blindly following something. So it's better to have at least some basic understanding of the concepts and of the structures, how our body, mind, consciousness works, and how these techniques, methods affect us. And probably the most important part of that path is your internal longing for understanding, for the knowledge and your own experience to see as much as you can through your life, to expand your consciousness. And if you have this drive, it doesn't really matter which path you choose. Even from different traditions, it doesn't need to be yoga. But it's very important that you have this longing for the knowledge and wisdom. Practice is, of course, important. If we just do the practice once in 2 weeks together and you don't repeat it in your own time, it will not be very effective. You will have maybe rational understanding, but if you don't repeat these mantras, if you don't repeat the practices, much will not change. And also that attachment to the result of the practice shouldn't be there as a light that guides you. It should be that you really want to do the practice, that you want to do that, you want to understand it. It comes from your inner longing. So not to be too much attached to the result, but to keep practicing because you like the practice, because you understand it. And usually people that do want to follow some spiritual practice, they think that once you start meditating or doing something, even with the external help, that you will become an extraordinary human being, that you will have some special qualities, you will see more than the others, you can fly, or you can manipulate others, or you can download the information from some universal hard drive into your mind, and then you will know the language. Or but this is not the case. As wiser you are becoming, more you see how huge the pool of information and the universe and experience is, and how little you can understand through your limited human experience. And you will be all the time missing a lot. You just see very little from the world. Even though you are very wise, very intelligent, you can be enlightened, but you don't have a capacity to see that all. And wiser you are becoming, more you know that you can't know it all. So that humbleness comes also with that practice, and more you know, more you enjoy even the basic things in life, to be with the family, to see the birds flying, to wash the dishes. And basically every second of your life is becoming a spiritual practice and spiritual experience. So that becoming ordinary, not extraordinary, is important. And you can also come only to a certain level, and then you need to leave all the practices, all the techniques, all the methods, all the dogmas, all the information and knowledge, and just give up and let it flow, and open your heart and let the grace or blessing come into you, that the descent of the grace, descent of the higher consciousness or God into you. So basically you do one step toward the God, and God will do that one step toward you. And you can't do it only with your own effort. You need to be open to that higher consciousness. And in the yogic tradition, we don't need to like it, but important part, even in other traditions, is the initiation into a lineage or into a practices, because many of these techniques, methods are very effective, and they basically change your way you see the world, and they change the structures of your brain and consciousness. And only people that are ready for that can get to that, can get the knowledge. Because if you have too much power and you don't know, you don't have the wisdom together with that, you can do a lot of bad things. So all these traditions were kind of a secret, not because we would like to hide something from other people, but because people need to be ready, and they need to come in the right time to the right place to be initiated and to be open to these higher states of consciousness.